Canada is broke, but it's not because you don't pay enough taxes. It's because the Ottawa Liberals are wasting and mismanaging what you've already given them. Case in point, Global Affairs Canada's own fraud reports, obtained through access to information thanks to your generosity at a special website, rebelinvestigates.com, show $2,178,386.55 in taxpayer losses to outright fraud, theft, and scams between 2020 and 2025. Now, this isn't speculation. This isn't a matter of bad policy choices. This is money proven to have been misappropriated. The big hits, well, let's go through some of them in the documents. Somalia in 2023, $327,834 stolen through unauthorized personal use of Canadian-funded assets. In Mali, in 2021, $186,661 in fictitious expenses, phantom billing for work that just never happened. Jordan, in 2020, $168,822 gone in collusion. In Syria, in 2024, $137,768 lost in a so-called data breach. In Uganda, in 2022, $94,997 just flatly embezzled. In Sudan, in 2023, $93,573 vanished under the catch-all label of other. Those 6 cases alone make up for more than half of the total losses. There are repeat offenders in the mix. Nigeria, $45,928 in fake expenses, $1,344 in an impersonation scam, $87 in extortion, and then multiple thefts. In Mozambique, $13,089 in fictitious bills, $988 in mischaracterized expenses, $15,608 more in shady scams, plus bribes and conflicts of interest. Oh, we don't let people get in trouble for conflicts of interest. This is Mark Carney's Canada. In Ghana, $44,772 were lost to collusion, $10,029 were lost to other, $3,471 was straight up cash theft, and more padded wages. In Bangladesh, $3,084 were lost to procurement fraud, $1,600 and another $1,875 were lost to fictitious expenses, and $732 more were lost to procurement scams. Now, these aren't one-offs, they're real patterns. And then there are the nickel and dime grifts, the petty frauds. Niger, a $2 theft of assets. Yes, the Ottawa Liberals logged it, but they didn't do anything about it. Burkina Faso in 2023, $80 in other. Mozambique, $137 bribe in 2024. Pakistan, multiple other and conflict of interest claims, each under $6,000. Each small case might look trivial, but together they helped push the total over $2.1 million. Fictitious or overstated expenses, the single biggest category, spanning Mali, Nigeria, Rwanda, Haiti, Ethiopia, Bangladesh, and more. Collusion was namely in Jordan, Ghana, Sudan, Somalia. They all had insiders teaming up to skim money. There was theft of cash or assets, just straight up taking things. That was happening in Syria, Uganda, Iraq, Kenya, and Zambia. There was bribery and kickback schemes taking place in Mozambique, Benin, Sierra Leone, and Uganda, and procurement fraud in Iraq, Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Bangladesh. And again, this isn't just a one-off scandal, it's systemic rot. And who is supposedly in charge during all of this? Well, Melanie Joly, largely. From 2021 to 2025, she oversaw global affairs while $2.1 million disappeared into scams, into criminality. Was she fired? Of course not. She was laterally transferred, or some might say promoted. She's now the Minister of Industry in charge of fixing Canada's bleeding economy, What could possibly go wrong? And now Anita Anand holds the foreign affairs file. Has she fixed the leaks, fired anybody, recovered the money? Not a chance. Canadians are told to cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions to make ends meet, skip a coffee, and pay more taxes, while bureaucrats overseas loot the till. And don't forget all that legal waste the Liberals get away with. That $2.1 million is proven misappropriation and criminality. But it's just the tip of the iceberg, because then there's the waste that Ottawa signs off on with a smile, like Trudeau's government dumping about $573 million into offshore gender responsive and economic development and climate projects. It's legal, yeah. Sensible? Not a chance. Beneficial to Canadians? Not even in the slightest. Canada is broke, not because you don't pay enough. Canada is broke because of them, the Liberals, and the fraud, theft, collusion, waste that they oversee, and these ministers that just fail upward. That's why we need a Doge North, a real watchdog with real teeth to track every dollar and expose every scam and finally hold these ministers accountable. And maybe, just maybe, someone in the end might get fired. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Sign our petition at dogenorth.com. Stop the fraud, stop the waste, and stop letting politicians treat you like their personal ATM. Again, that's dogenorth.com.